Tamakaze here with a BBIG squeeze video. I'm going to talk about what's going on with BBIG, what started it, and what we can expect from here. So let's jump into it. So BBIG all started, it's been a meme for a very long time, had a squeeze last year, and is now ramping up for a potential squeeze again. It's all started with the IPO rumors of Cryptide. Cryptide is a breakoff venture that Vinco Ventures, aka BBIG, is invested in, that is an acquisition firm that is looking to buy blockchain technology and blockchain companies. So this started on June 12th, June 13th, when people started noticing that Fintel had created the TYDE page. So that the ticker for Cryptide was going to be TYDE. This means that Cryptide is gearing up to IPO, which could make a major boost in the stock price to BBIG, um, basically causing shorts to cover themselves and investors to jump in early to try to get ahead of the chain. So that is what started it, and you could see the volume candles here on that day. You had the boost in the morning, and this thing went from $2 to $3, basically gaining 50% in one day off of the rumors. And from there, we were off to the races. So where we are sitting now, we have two sides to the story here. We have the gamma side and we have the short squeeze side. So the short squeeze side is something that a lot of people cover, but the gamma side is something that a lot of people take for granted. So let's just talk a little bit about the short squeeze sides. You can see that we are getting some very nice data on the short squeeze side. Um, we're sitting at just shy of 100% utilization, so there's not really any shares to be available to short, and at the same time we have pretty good fuel, 26%. Now this isn't what it was at last time it squeezed, so this fuel is a little bit less, but that's where the gamma side comes in. So the cost to borrow, we see at an average around 68%. So shorts are getting punished here for holding. Not only is the price going up, the interest they're being charged is also going up. And I expect this side to increase. So I do expect shorts to start covering, and I believe they already have started covering. But as you can see today, we actually saw the short interest go up. So even with the stock going up here today, and it squeezed after hours as well, all the way to $6, you saw short interest go up. Now I expect this to change a little bit tomorrow, but it is interesting to see that people are still shorting it. An additional 1.7 million shares are shorted today. So let's talk about the gamma side now. So the gamma side, you can see the open interest, the implied volatility, the volume, and then the ticker here. So you can see right now in the money, we have a ton of calls in the money, and I have that tallied up for you here. Just the $2 through $5 strikes here. 187,000 shares. So that means if these all expire in the money, BBIG finishes the week above $5. That's 18,783,700 shares that need to be covered to cover those calls on the delta side, or on the gamma side, sorry. So if we get over $6, we then get another 100,000 shares added, and we're at 28.7 million. And for instance, if we get a real squeeze over 10, then we add another 113,000. That would bring us to about 40 million shares. So between the 40 million shares there and the 32 million shares shorted, that means approximately 72 million shares, 72.3 million shares could be on the hook to be covered this week. Now, it's not saying they will all be. I'm just saying that's potential what could be. And I don't expect those all to be covered, but the important thing is the mentality that people think there's going to be a squeeze. So more and more people are trying to get in on this. So we have a legitimate catalyst and we have legitimate fuel for this to go up. And right now, when this started, at the beginning of this, we're looking at 30 to 40 million shares on average traded a day. We're already up to 72 million, and you can see that was largely in part from 287 million shares shorted today. And if you look at volume on the bottom here, you can see it's been exploding. And with the beginning of today being a large amount. And even the after hour volume today has been staggering, with a total of 18.7 million shares covered after hours, which was more than was usually being traded in a day was traded after hours. So, where can we go from here is the question. Is it done? Is it going to continue? Well, I did do some charting for you here. I took a look at the old squeeze. I have my volume profile on the left so you can see where people are holding the most amount of shares. You can see these huge outliers and spikes are where you're going to have the big battlegrounds. So these are where you're going to see a lot of selling pressure happen and potential reversals. So the big thing today is we're sitting at 578 after hours. We already got over the biggest volume shelf that we had to get over today. And that was where the battleground was today. You could see the battleground on that shelf today was hard fought with both sides going to the tip and then the after hours pushing it over. So it'd be interesting to see what pre-market action looks like tomorrow. But if we continue and we get over $6, we're going to see a lot of gamma start to come in the money and then a lot of delta hedging because of that. And then as long as we keep going, you're going to see a battleground around the 650 mark. You're going to see one at the 7, the 8, and the 9. Those are going to be big gamma swings as well as big volume shelves. So I think it's got enough fuel to go to 9. I think that $8 mark is probably going to be where you see a huge pullback, and it could potentially happen before there. If we can't get over 650 tomorrow, then we might see a pullback to fill this gap down to 430 before we potentially get one more move. Regardless, it never hurts if you're in profit tomorrow. If we do wake up and we are up a considerable amount, you know, take some profit at open, see what happens. If it continues to go up, hold, but don't be afraid to take profits. Squeeze are very unpredictable, and you happen to see violent profit taking, and this is quantified by the last squeeze we see here. You can see, it went from $10 down to 550 in one trading session, and then it went all the way back up, and then it went from $12 down to $6. And this is what happens. As soon as the floodgates open, you see people taking profits. And this is what happened. We had a very large gap up from a similar spot, 530. We're at 518 now. We opened up at $9. We ran to $10. And within the first hour of the day, we went from 9 to 10 all the way back down to 680. So there's going to be rapid movement, there's going to be a lot of covering, and there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. So don't get caught in the cog. So hopefully this video was informational for you. Be interesting to see what we do tomorrow, but this should help you explain what is going on with BBIG and that there is fuel for it to continue. That's not a guarantee that it will continue. I know I'll have my popcorn and I'll be watching tomorrow. So thank you and have a great day.